Have you ever wondered how to find a business idea that's suited to your unique career and experiences that you can turn into a scalable business? How are companies like Netflix, Airbnb, Uber able to create such a large customer base all over the world? It's thanks to having scalability built into their core, and you can do it too. The secret to finding a business opportunity that you can actually pull off and operate on your own is finding a business idea that leverages your unique experiences and your unique career. This way, you'll be primed to stick it out and see the idea through. Today, I'll show you exactly how I did this for myself. And that's not to say I built the next Uber, definitely not. But I have built a business that does have scalability built into its core, allowing me to offer my services throughout Australia and maybe even worldwide. I'll tell you a little bit more about how my business works later in the video. But before we get to that, I just can't begin to explain how many years I spent daydreaming about having my own business, contemplating all these different business ideas and trying to figure out what direction I was going to go. Throughout that whole time, it just felt like all those businesses and those companies that I worked for, it was like they were just zapping my prime years away from me. And it was just like, how do I get past this? How do I come up with that idea that I can, put all my effort into and actually see fruits from my day-to-day efforts towards my own business? I was really looking for a business idea where I would be implementing my vision for the company's direction and coming up with the ideas that would help the business grow to that next level, to help our clients get better outcomes, and to just build a team of my own that would have a culture that I really enjoyed. If you can find the right culture and you can create that at your own company, it's almost like creating a recipe for success. I want to give you a bit of a rundown on where I came from, just to give you some sort of understanding that, I'm not born into a wealthy family. I didn't really have a leg up with anybody helping me to get to the point where I was able to start my own business. So yeah, look, before I started my company, I was just another guy trying to work my way up the corporate ladder in the construction world. I started out as a construction laborer. I was earning $500 a week, living week to week. I remember I'd get to the end of the financial year or to Christmas, and the 2 weeks that I'd have off of the Christmas break, that would just blow all of my savings because I wasn't earning enough to get through the Christmas break and actually do anything. So then at the start of the next year, I'd just be back to square one again. And, maybe now I'm earning $600 a week. I think I got a $20 a day raise or something after those first couple of years. It just took forever to get anywhere. So my point is, I've started from the bottom. You can work your way up. And I'm proof that, this is possible. I went from being, a construction laborer that was pushing wheelbarrows up long driveways in the rain. I stuck with it. I went from being a carpenter to a new home estimator. And, one of the final jobs that I worked on before I started my own company was for a $5 million custom home. If you have the motivation to, achieve long-term goals for yourself, and you stick with something, you can build that foundation for yourself where you're able to start a company of your own. First of all, you need to build a foundation that you're going to leverage to effectively finance your new business venture. But yeah, that whole time that I was working as a carpenter and a new home estimator, I just had this itch. I'd go about my days and I'd always just in the back of my mind be thinking, what business can I start? Where is this opportunity? And I'd see all these successful people doing their own things, and a lot of opportunities would even come my way, and people would ask, do you want to get into this and do you want to get into that? And in those earlier days, I said yes to a lot of things. Over time, experience showed that you've either got to be a certain type of person to excel in a lot of different opportunities. And eventually I got to the point where I just started saying no, because I was like, all right, I can actually tell now that this is not an opportunity that's suited to me. I'm going to pass on this opportunity, and I'm going to wait for the opportunity that's right for me to present itself so that I can actually go all in on that opportunity. So if you're not sure which direction that you are wanting to go, feel free to say no to so many different things until you're actually gelling with an idea. And you really need to be able to envision the long-term prospects of that business opportunity and feel like it's a right fit for you. You need to feel like you are the right person to be the one that's behind the scenes bringing this product or this service to the market. So yeah, basically my point with all this is that if I can do it, there's no reason why you can't do it too. Anybody can start from the bottom. It's about building yourself up, building your knowledge, building a financial sort of foundation for yourself to then launch your business from. There's just a couple important variables that everybody needs to understand before you get into this. This will help you figure out your business idea. It's kind of like piecing together a bit of a puzzle. Once you get all those parts together, it's kind of like you just have that the light bulb moment and the business idea clicks, and then off you go. So first of all, we need to identify the unique problem that your business is going to solve. Luckily for all of us, there's an abundance of problems in the world today. Even as technology progresses, there's more and more problems that companies and people are facing that need to be solved. So don't worry that it kind of seems like all the businesses have already been created and it's so hard to come up with an idea. As long as you sort of stick with one sort of career path, you will eventually identify an idea that you can tackle or start a business around. So to help us figure out what this business idea will be that you're actually going to start, we're going to get a note app on your phone, and every time you encounter a problem or just something that bugs you even just a little bit or is bugging the people around you, it's like a problem in the office or your friends having this issue that they can't solve, you're going to take notes, and we're going to build this up over a period of time until we identify a problem that is ripe to be solved and that you can create a business around. So get that app and get started today. Start taking notes today of every single thing that you notice. All right, so secondly, we need to identify problems that are large enough that we can actually build a business around it. We're looking for a problem that many people are facing so that we can create some sort of infrastructure or some sort of solution, whether it's web-based or product-based, that can be sent out or issued out to all of these people facing the problem as a solution. This way, the larger the addressable market is, the larger potential scalability your idea will have. And this is really what we're looking for. We're looking for business ideas that are scalable so that it's, for me, it's just more exciting. I don't really want a business that, doesn't have a potentially large customer base. I want a business that, I can scale out to many people that are experience this problem to help them get a better outcome for whatever that situation is that they're dealing with. All right, so the third point is to identify a solution to one of the problems on the list. You might have been building this list for a while now, and at a certain point, we don't just want to keep building this list forever. The objective is to find a solution to one of the problems or a couple of the problems on this list, and then build a business around that. And you build a business around these problems by coming up with a solution to the problem and then offering that solution as a service to your clients. Ideally, you will be uniquely suited to solve the problem. By this, I mean, your past career experience or maybe something about your lifestyle, positions you as the optimal person to solve this problem for others. This is going to be really helpful for you if, down the track, once you've launched the business and it's underway, if you're not the optimal person to be running this business, you might find it a little bit difficult. You might sort of get imposter syndrome or something like that. And ultimately, you want to be the knowledgeable person behind the scenes who is really authorized to solve the problem for somebody else. You don't really want to run into an issue where, a client's asking you, what's your experience behind the scenes? Why would I not just go hire somebody else who's, experienced with this problem, they've solved it. So ultimately, we want to find something that we're uniquely experienced at. This gives us credibility to bring our product to market and stand behind it strongly. So the fourth point to consider is understanding how to package your solution so that it can be served to your clients in a scalable manner. You really don't want your solution to consume copious amounts of your time. You want to spend your time up front to figure out how to package your solution. And then once it's packaged, it can then serve your clients autonomously almost, or through a website, or whether it's software. You need to find some way that you can sort of outsource the service being provided to your clients so that it frees up your time so that you can sort of stand back and work on the bigger picture or the direction of your company. In the early days, there's going to be a lot of things that do consume your time, but ultimately we just want to make sure that everything that we want to automate so that it's easily served to our clients and freeing up our time to work on other things. Next, I'm going to move into discussing about how I actually use that framework to come up with my business idea, how it helped me identify the problem that needed to be solved, and how I went about utilizing the notes that I'd been taking in my phone to identify and bring that product to market. So yeah, for me, the problem that I identified that needed to be solved was that of all the builders that I was working for over the years, we just had this recurring problem. We would even have meetings about it, and the directors or the top dogs wanted a solution, but no matter what anybody sort of come up with, nothing really worked. So yeah, the problem that we were facing was that our clients frequently just wanted to make changes to their home while it was under construction. And anytime a client wants to change their home in one way or another, It requires a lot of admin work, and then that admin work would slow down the team in the office, it would slow down the estimators, and then subsequently this would slow down construction, because then the supervisor or the project manager out on the construction site then has to interpret these changes, and then they've got to order in new materials and rearrange tradies, and all this shuffling just caused massive delays to our projects. This takes staff resources away from working on new clients, so that's delaying the new clients, and it's really just affecting the business's overall cash flow, because multiple clients are just always wanting to change their homes. And so the problem was always proposed to us as, how do we stop our clients from wanting to make so many changes whilst their home's under construction? And it wasn't until after a little while of reflecting on the problem that it sort of occurred to me that the underlying problem was that our clients didn't have enough knowledge at the front end before they'd signed a contract. And so they were signing a contract prematurely. They jumped on that sort of conveyor belt to, get their home underway. And then, before they know it, they've got a contract put together, but it didn't really include everything that they wanted. And so once construction's under the way, the client's basically just trying to throw in the other things that they want, because they didn't have that preparation at the front end to help ensure that that contract that they'd initially signed was comprehensive and exactly what they wanted. So my interpretation of this was that we needed to implement some sort of solution to ensure that people building new homes are as educated as possible. They've had an opportunity to consider a wide range of options that are available to their new home, rather than just choosing a builder's floor plan off the shelf and going, yeah, I'll take that one, and I'll take some of those inclusions from the display home, and then, effectively just overlooking a whole bunch of other things that, could be included in their new home to improve the outcome of their new home once it's completed. Because, once it's built, you've kind of lost that opportunity. So yeah, I raised the idea with my employers, and I think everybody just thought it was like way too much work. And to be honest, it took a lot of work to sort of bring the idea to fruition. But this was the problem that led to the creation of my company, Foresight Home Planning. There's a link in the bio if you want to go check that out, just have a quick peek. But yeah, as a result, clients who work through my home planning program on my website don't make as many costly changes to their home throughout the construction process. This saves them copious amounts of dollars on post-contract variations and the fees and the high margins that all those variation items include. And as a sort of subsequent result of this, it smooths out the construction process for their builder, because the client's no longer wanting to make all these changes whilst their home's under construction. So it's a win for the client and it's a win for the builder. And that's where I was able to tie my unique experience in the construction industry together to form my business idea. So yeah, this was my unique value proposition. What will yours be? Now let's take a moment to think about the problems that you've observed in your industry. What inefficiencies and recurring problems have you identified? So let's open that note-taking app of yours, put the heading as My Scalable Business Idea. The problem my business will solve will be on this list. Then we're just going to start taking notes daily and review it monthly. Put a little reminder in your calendar, recurring, once a month, to review the business idea notes. This is going to take some time, but if you stick with it, this is what's going to help you generate that idea. I don't know how long you've been trying to figure out a business idea already. All you need to do is have a little bit of structure around the process that you're going to be coming up with the idea with, and this is what's going to lead to your idea. I ended up having like 10 years worth of notes on my phone that ended up being rolled into my business idea. I didn't even realize it at the time, but this is what actually became the backbone of my business in the end. So I really can't emphasize enough just how important it is to be taking notes regularly, just so you've got like a log of, issues that you can potentially solve and bring solution to market for. Wait, what? You found your problem? Alrighty. Now the last thing you want to do is run off to your employer and just hand it over to them on a silver platter. You honestly won't get jack if you do. Maybe a nice little bonus at the end of the year, but nothing in comparison to what you could achieve if you can build a business around your idea. Just like the guy who figured out how to make the blue LED. All these companies out there were trying to figure out how to create it. They all had scientists and their top teams. Nobody could figure it out until this one Japanese man figured it out. And the company that he worked for basically screwed him over and he got jack out of it. So don't end up like that guy. I'll put a link in the description below. Now this is it. This is your chance. You've just found the opportunity nobody else could see because you've harnessed your unique experiences, your insights. You've just identified a solution to a pressing problem. You are now positioned to bring your solution to market. And while you're at it, keep thinking about scalability. Scalability is the key to creating a business that can build you generational wealth.